Yo, what's up guys? Your boy TK here, and as you guys know, we're going over draft profiles, and this season, I chose my man Demetrius Ja Morant. I'm sure you guys aren't familiar with that name. You guys have no idea who I'm talking about. Well, let me get to it. I'm talking about the 6'3" sophomore guard out of Murray State, who, you might also know this, was AAU teammates with a favorite player of mine, Zion Williamson. So let's get into some pros, guys. Quickly, I want to talk about this kid is a great playmaker. He leads the country in assists, 10 per game. We know that's not an easy feat. To average double-double in assists in college is a pretty ridiculous stat. And he also averages 24 points per game. So 24 points per game, 10 assists, and 5.5 rebounds. The kid's an amazing playmaker, always getting his teammates involved. Let's talk about another pro of his. He's a dynamic and athletic point guard. You can see that translating really well to the NBA. As we all know, the best point guards in the league, outside of Steph Curry, are all dynamic and athletic. Not only that, he can create offense for himself as well as others. And we know this because he's averaging 10 assists again. So he's not only a playmaker, he's dynamic, athletic, and he's hardworking and has a ton of leadership qualities. Get this. So despite being a AAU teammate of Zion Williamson, he was not a big-time recruit, obviously, going to Murray State, right? But he took them to back-to-back tournament appearances. As a sophomore, the kid led these guys. Murray State, who else plays for them? We don't know. But he's led them to back-to-back tournament appearances, and I think that's pretty big time. So now, unfortunately, we have to talk about some of the cons for Ja Morant, or should I say, Demetrius, my guy. One con, that's not much of a con because it's improving, but we have to discuss this anyway, right? Is three-point shooting. In his freshman year, he averaged 30% from three, and now in his sophomore year, it's 33%. So we've seen a little bit of growth and development in his game from a three-point shooting standpoint, which is encouraging, His shot doesn't look too good, but there's some things that he can correct and he'll clean it up a little bit. Maybe in the NBA he could be a 33 to 35% shooter from three, but we all know his game is driving and getting to the basket. Also, a con of his is the lack of competition, the level of competition, so to speak. We all know he's from Murray State and they play in the Ohio Valley Conference. So they don't play these big time schools. They don't play high level competition. So some people would say that his 24 points per game, 5 rebounds and 10 assists could be a little bit bloated due to the level of competition that he's playing against. They're not the best. Okay, so I can see that as a con potentially. Also, turnovers. Unfortunately, my man Ja Morant has a tendency of overpassing, which is very common for a young point guard, especially one who's dynamic and athletic and rangy as he is. It's hard to find a balance, as James Harden knows. You're the focal point of an offense on a team, so you're looked to score, rebound, pass, and do it all. So sometimes he probably overpasses, trying to get his teammates involved and make them feel adequate enough to be part of the game and, to get these wins. I understand. So that's a con of his game. And guys, I got to talk about the percentages here. The Knicks have a very high percent chance to draft 5th, as Pete said. So I'm going to go with, this is a tough one, guys. Bear with me. The Knicks have a 40% chance of drafting Ja Morant. And I say that due to positioning. I don't think they'll land in the top 3. As we know, I believe